Finally found a fella, almost completely divine, but his vocabulary is killing this romance of mine. We get into an intimate situation, and then begins this Romeo's conversation. He says murder, he says, every time we kiss. He says murder, he says, at a time like this. He says murder, he says, is that the language of love? He says solid, he says, takes me in his arms. He says solid, he says, meaning all my charms. He says solid, he says, is that the language of love? He says chick, chick, you torture me, soon are we living, thinking of leaving him flat. He says dig, dig, the jumps the old tinker is giving. No, he can talk plainer than that. He says murder, he says, every time we kiss. He says murder, he says, at a time like this. And that murder, he says, in that impossible tone, will bring on nobody's murder but his own. He says Jackson, he says, and my name's Marie. He says Jackson, he says, shoot the snoot to me. He says Jackson, he says, is that the language of love? He says woof woof, he says, when he likes my hat. He says tss, tss, he says, what the heck is that? He says woof.